Welcome back, baby. Welcome back, everyone. We had to switch it up, man. I was getting bored with the other content. Diddy beats the feds, yo. That's never done. Well, people are upset, too. I don't get why people are upset. That's where I'm lost at. Like, people are upset. But the man had his day in court, y'all. He had his day in court. There was no doubt about it. The man had his day in court. But people are upset. Like, there's some different feelings about this, and I'd like to go over them. Like, there's definitely some hard feelings out there. I know there's one channel that was really tanking on Diddy going to prison for the rest of his life. I don't know about y'all, but I know what channel that is, and we're going to take a look at a lot of these people's responses, bro. This is a little overwhelming and telling about what our society has gotten to. Some of these people have never met Diddy in their lives, don't know him, never even seen him, never even shook his hand, but definitely would like to see him behind bars for the rest of his entire life. And I don't understand that sense of like, I don't understand like where you could come from to want. I don't get it. To like, you don't know who these people are, but yet you say, oh, he needs to be behind bars. If he's guilty, yes, but not enough people could find him guilty, apparently. But let's take a look at what Tissa had to say, y'all, because I believe she's the most upset out of everybody. And she was reading from a script. This is script, bro. Hold on. Tissa has made enemies out here. She's made friends, but she also was banking on this man to go to prison, bro. And I don't understand it. Like, if you're going to cover the court topics, right? Don't get too involved to where your emotions are set in. Don't become emotionally involved in what
there has been Judgment Day, and the jury has found
you cannot become emotionally involved in things you're covering. It's not worth it. Like, who gives a fuck? Cover it and just in stream. Okay, goodbye. Don't get emotionally involved. Then you just get your little feelings hurt when your shit don't go your way.
Not guilty.
Not
guilty. We're going to talk about what this means. We're going to talk about what happened. We're going to talk about what the government said, and we're going to talk about the way I feel that jury has failed us. I feel like the jury failed us.
Today,
I feel like
baby.
we stepped back 20 years. I feel like they sent a message about what they care about: celebrity, money, power, influence, flunkies. I feel like,
I mean, I definitely honestly do understand that, but they didn't get him for any of that. We don't know if he did that. We don't know. We cannot take people's words for what they say today in time. We know that by watching Brandy. People will say anything, but if you're found guilty, then I understand it. You see what I'm saying? You had your day in court, man. People have their day in court. That's why he said, fuck your plea bargain. Let's take it to trial. I'm facing life in prison because I denied your 110 months. Let's go to trial. You gotta respect it, man. Money, power, respect. You think this was a power thing, a power trip? You think P. Diddy was just getting a little bit too rich for him? You know what comes with money? The only thing he was found guilty on was the Mann Act and prostitution. It's clear Diddy has a sex problem. Like it's pretty clear that they were all engaged in a lot of different sexual activities, which is weird to me. Don't get me wrong. And I believe in justice too, Native. I do. I believe in justice too, but there's definitely ways to go about getting it. And they went the right way about getting it. It just all fell apart when Cassie took the stand. I think it would have probably been best if she didn't even come on the stand. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not P. Diddy. I'm not these people that are covering Diddy. I thought about covering it, but it just got weird on me, man. Like Cassie taking the stand and saying that she wanted more freak offs. That threw me for a loop, bro. That threw me for a loop. Those text messages threw me for a loop. As anyone, she lost me there, man. Keep unplugging that damn light.
This is a travesty, okay? I know that there are a lot of Diddy supporters that are celebrating, but they're not even celebrating for Diddy. They're celebrating that wealth, that depravity, that violence could live another day. They're celebrating that they're idle, that in their beds while they sit there and wonder why their lives turned out, that they're idle, someone they hope for, they aspire to be. Someone that as he gets not guilty, he's not even going to say 2 words to these people. They are celebrating the fact that the man, the myth.
I overheard, because I was watching a little bit of akademiks stream. So you're not telling the truth there, Tissa, because if you were in there, I overheard on akademiks stream that Diddy was overwhelmingly like telling the jury over and over and over again, thank you, thank you, thank you. He don't know those people though. Come on, Tissa. I was watching akademiks stream and they said that Diddy was overwhelmingly thanking the jury. I mean, as he should. They found him not guilty. Anybody would be saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going home, y'all. And he probably will go home today. He will probably go home today. He'll probably be out on an ankle monitor. He'll probably get time to do, but he's already served it. And then he'll be on probation for a long time. I mean, it's up to 20 years. I think it's up to 10 because it's all on the same docket number.
The legend. Someone that they looked up to, that their idol was set free.
Swear to God.
Guys, let's get into this.
Bro, I got a Citizens app notification that in Brooklyn, they were throwing baby oil everywhere. There was assault of the baby oil. Assaulting people of the baby oil. It's on your IG. Yeah, I got a Citizens app notification, bro. This is a crime? I didn't know it was a fucking crime.
First of all, I do want to say I feel for all the victims that came forward, and
I've seen it on
I
there
feel
too.
for all the victims that actually came forward and testified, that put their lives, that shared the most humiliating parts of their life to be picked apart, to be mocked, to be laughed at. In the closing arguments, while the jury was sitting there giggling, while Mark Agnifilo was saying Cassie's gangster and she could take 2 or 3 people. And my heart goes out to the victims that actually came forward. And my heart goes out to the future victims that saw what happened, that saw what money and power bought. And my heart goes out to those people that put themselves on the line only to get this. People are.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Don't let this ever, like, I don't know, lost the cap. Don't let this ever, like, go over your head. My heart goes out to victims, too. My heart goes out to the people that didn't get justice. My heart goes out to people that, you know, were hurt, that deserve justice. But the sad thing about this is we don't know if there was justice because he was found not guilty, bro. And if you look at it from the outside looking in with nothing emotionally involved, we can't understand the amount of people that have been involved with it. People have been hurt, not hurt. People that have said that those people are lying. Those people are lying. Said those people are lying. It's just so hard because he was found not guilty. by 12 people. Some people are saying that the jury was fucking picked wrong and that there should have been more women and there should have been more young men on there. And that's like saying, okay, you want to use people that are younger and not as wise and that are more left leaning that would have hung Diddy instead of somebody that has a little bit of wisdom in their brains. Because that's what wins.
Cheering for someone they didn't even know. People are cheering at the fact that someone that they would never let their daughter, their sister, their mother, their father, their brother, their friend be treated like that. But again, it is what it is. The prosecution is saying they are going to go for the maximum sentence, which carries 20 years. The judge is charged with sentencing. There's a chance that he could be out on.
Yes, in federal court, each case stacks. Because in state court, if you're under the same cause number, it eats it up. So whatever charge is the biggest on that cause number, and you get the max on that charge, everything else just gets ate up by that charge. That's the way it's done in state where I'm at. I mean, nothing unless it's all on different cause numbers. But apparently, they gonna stack it on him. So he's facing up to 20. This judge. See, the feds go by a sentencing guideline, and Diddy doesn't have any real big crimes against him. So he probably falls under where he can get a suspended sentence. And usually judges will give you the offer to have a suspended sentence if you've never been in trouble. This is why we have to love the country we live in, because you have that right to go to trial and be heard by other people that don't know you.
Probation. Now, I'm going to take you into the courtroom.
What up, Shots?
What happened,
bro?
of course, is, listen, looking
Real life
back.
circus
So I know what you guys are thinking. What happened? Because I am in shock. You found the prostitution, but that's because there was no way you could get around it. You found the You found the prostitution because there was no way to get around it. But for everything else, the arson, the kidnapping, the beatings,
I don't understand how he got off on the arson, and Kid Cudi testified. I have no clue how he got off on that. It does blow my mind a little on how he did get off, because there was some facts laid out that were very hard to disprove. Like Jonathan Odie taking the stand, bro, was crazy, bro. Everybody couldn't find where this man is. He done went to court for 6 years in Miami. Then nobody know where he ain't never been to court. Then didn't nobody know where he was. And then there's a YouTube video released that Jonathan Odie died in a car crash. And then all of a sudden he appears at the Diddy trial. That blew my fucking mind, bro. I thought that was a total I thought it was a folklore or something that was going on with this Jonathan Odie dude. I was tripping. Keep on plugging it. I thought I was tripping, bro. And he appeared in court. So obviously he was under a certain thing called witness protection. And they wanted Diddy since he told them all that. That's crazy, bro. That means the Jonathan Odie statement stuck with the feds that long, man. Like they wanted to get him years and years ago. What's up, everybody in the chat?
This man wasn't guilty.
Salute.
This puts everything else in the holdouts. The holdouts, they were the ones fighting the good fight. They were the ones that said, no, I think he's guilty of something. But at the end, they went with the group. What is this said? A jury of between 40-year-olds and 71-year-olds, and they came back and they delivered their view of the world. But when you look at it, their view of the world is why the world looks like it is. It's why the world looks like it does. It's why these monsters can still...
So you're blaming everyone else. Not really a good path to go down, Tissa. It's no one else's fault but the prosecution's or the defense's team if they lost this case? I doubt it was a bunch of men in there going, I'm going to save Diddy. I'm going to save him. Like Tissa. No accountability? Fuck, bro.
Move forward. They literally use their better judgment
She's
to come
bad,
back
bro.
and ignore what we have learned about victims of SA. Ask yourself
why you're
has
so
not
mad.
been eradicated. This is the reason why. Ask yourself why victims don't come forward, and ask yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
I think that much like you, the jury very ignorant, acted ignorantly, and have ignorant. No, I'm saying the way you came up on me is ignorant. Well, baby, here I am. I think I'm on live right now. Okay, worry about your little channel, sweetie. What's that? Diddy is still not gonna let you suck his dick, baby.
Damn. I don't know what she's mad for. Like, this is why you cover court cases openly. Openly, bro. Like, I'll be honest. They lost it. That is Ratchet TV giving her the business.
He's going for 20. Baby, your channel's not doing a good job. Anyway, right? Anyway, here we go, right? As we go, right? As we go. Hey, what's up, right? People acting like I'm the prosecution, but baby, they can bring the smoke if they want. They acting like I'm the prosecution. So anyway, you guys, listen. What does it say? Do you see the things that I actually just put up?
She will get a job for sure. She'll get a job.
Crazy. This man.
She gonna get a job. I think TMZ and shit want to hire her, ABC or some shit, right? She gonna be an anchor somewhere, bro. She does good. Don't get me wrong. I just think she just didn't need to get emotional, man. AP says it happens to everyone that gets a certain level of wealth. When you can buy everything you've ever wanted, you always want more. It's why they go down these degenerate rabbit holes. I think sometimes you get these YouTube channels sometimes fall short, like myself, by getting involved with too much of the same content. And that's what channels are. They're focused. Most of all channels are focused strictly on certain content. And that's why people come to them. Fuck that shit. I'm doing everything.
Literally came up
doing everything,
because
I don't give a fuck.
This man literally came up and tried to cause a scene because his idol, someone he's never met or known. Again, the level of ignorance that is in Diddy supporters, the fact that they're saying I lied
they
on
were
Diddy
clearly
by reading court
prostitutes.
documents.
I mean, they didn't fly out just to chill. Come on now. They were clearly prostitutes. They got on stand and said they were prostitutes. I mean, that's why they convicted him of prostitution.
Lied on Diddy.
What
was going on? I lied on Diddy.
Boy.
This is the supporters they have. And this is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in. This,
the other person that thinks that a person shouldn't have supporters.
This is the world, baby.
Everybody has supporters, man.
Security
Even the fucking Yankees of the Yankees.
I'm fine.
YouTubers
all right, so
have
let's
supporters.
get into what actually happened, okay? They have a verdict on all counts, okay? He was only convicted of the Mann Act, and that is prostitution. Now, this turned out to be what the jury was doing, okay? Somebody tweeted that this tells me there's a strong chance that the jury has found him not guilty on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, because if they found him guilty on those, number 1 would be easy, okay? So let's get in this, all right? They said it never made sense that he was guilty. People said that it never made sense that he was guilty of sex trafficking. Then they split on RICO. He would have been automatically guilty of RICO if he had trafficked the 2 women. But yeah, listen, here's where I think things might have went wrong. The jury selection, okay? It should have been younger people on that jury and way more women.
Would've, should've, could've, Tissa. This is a would've, should've, could've now. This is now you blaming other things why Diddy isn't in jail for the rest of his life. Like, that's weird, bro. You saw Gotti too? Shout out to Gotti.
Of course, an older male jury would assume
Gotti was riding for Diddy the whole time.
Just whores. I said it. I said it. Older men are, it is what it is. Again, they had to rush the indictment without first actually uncovering his full criminal enterprise. Instead of taking the usually 2 years of investigation.
You thought they did this too fast. But what's up, Sunshine? You do know that they were talking to Jonathan Odie 12 years ago, 8 years ago or some shit. She knows this because she covered it. But she thinks they took the investigation too fast. Oh, man. I don't know what she meant, bro. I don't know what she meant. She's breaking
down.
An
huge racketeering enterprise. They did an only quick few months before they started bringing stuff to the grand jury. Let me just say this for anybody asking. I stand 100% down on what I thought and what I felt about Diddy. I do think that this was a miscarriage of justice. I think that the jurors are ignorant. I think the people that supported, well, not the jurors, but the people that support Diddy were ignorant. And I think the jury made the wrong call. I think the jury made the wrong call. And I stand 10 toes down on that. I hope the...
Okay, there's 12 people that sat together and deliberated. Bro. Yeah, I believe she's good. She just can't be biased, man. And this is what happens when you see bias. I think she's a hell of a good chick.
Prosecution does appeal.
She just didn't need to get all emotionally
now
involved.
Get this. The investigation, okay?
That comes with all this money she makes off of it. You see what I'm saying? Tissa makes a lot of money off this Diddy content. A lot of bread. We're probably talking $1 million a month. So let's not be fooled. We know why she's emotionally involved, because now she's got to take this content another direction. You see, now she can't sit there and go, Diddy's in prison for the rest of his life. Yeah, Diddy's in jail. Yeah. She can't soak that up. Tissa is thick. I didn't know she was that thick.
There were no wiretaps or phone warrants.
I had no idea she was that. I thought she was
or no investigating, or maybe there is about the people around him. Again, we can talk about the investigation. We know that Damian Lewis had to leave. We knew they did the best they could. But again, let's not act like Diddy did not have a lock on anything and everybody, okay? Again, the claim of Jane, we have to argue, as a victim on the prosecution side, knowing full well that Diddy was paying for the lawyer that was advising on how to testify. This is what people are saying, okay? On top of that, right?
Another distraction.
The cutting out of crucial
I wonder what it's from,
especially
though.
After the other ones
that's
were
when
maybe...
Like, that's... See, now you're making me think. Brian Steele is fucking fire, bro. I was just telling my woman that right before I started this live. I said, I wonder if it was the attorneys, dude. Because Brian Steele is the man, like you said. Brian Steele is probably hands down the best attorney in this fucking country that I've seen. I mean, there probably is better. I don't know, that I just haven't seen. But Jesus Christ, to come through at the very last minute and show up and show out, man. Yeah. I when people say it's another distraction, it makes me wonder, like, from what though? What do they got up their sleeves? And why do they want Diddy so bad? Was it the power of the black man? I don't know. Maybe they didn't want Diddy to be in that much power. But the fact is, all of the assets that they had frozen now have to be unfrozen. Now the money that they took now has to be given back. He was found not guilty of the RICO. That's what was holding all of his assets. They can't take a fucking thing from him for prostitution. They'll fine the fuck out of him. The court fees would be crazy. You know, you think it's the power that the money comes with?
Didn't do the best
They had
one
to knock
cost.
him down a
I
peg,
think
maybe.
that was a strategic gamble that Diddy.
That's a hell of a gamble, because this was to get his attention, knock him down a peg. But they almost got him and put him away for life, bro. Like, that's not attention getting. That's somebody's life gone. If they could have, they would have put him away for life.
Made, and I think it turned out very well. What was the actual strategic gamble? We need to look at it for what it was. They thought the defense was going to call people. And at the end of the day, the defense decided not to call anybody. That was another huge, it was a gamble, and the gamble paid off. Okay.
That was a weird one. I didn't understand why no one was called to defend Diddy. Absolutely no one. No one. I thought to myself, wow, what kind of a fucking shitball do you need to be to not have anyone defend on you? To not give a fuck who comes up and talks good for you, bro?
Again, I stand 10 toes down. I think this was a miscarriage of justice. I think the jury got it wrong. But the jury was older. They were misogynistic. They were hobo, okay? Another mistake, I believe, okay? Not charging other co-conspirators.
Almighty
It
dollar.
looked crazy for Diddy to be sitting there by himself and claiming a criminal enterprise, okay? And making all the co-conspirators sit there in the court together. The way, okay, that they could have used this opportunity to dig through what Diddy had been doing illegally, but this is what money can buy you. Mark Agnifilo, he did it. Oh, I saw him in the elevator. He actually made a comment, right? Some people from ABC.
Because Gary was doom scrolling his life away. And then he come across our page.
Asked him, how did this happen, right?
He was
The fact
doom
that they're,
scrolling his life
and he
away. Go
said
back
this
to
was
scrolling,
a
Gary.
big win, okay? Somebody asked him, how did your big win feel? He said, in 35 years, I have never felt like this. He was looking like he had just won the Super Bowl. And they said, how do you feel? He said, I'm relieved that I don't feel miserable. I'm relieved that I do not feel miserable. And he said in 35 years, he has never felt like this. Again, it defies logic. And
you're right, AP. You're dead right with this. You're dead right, bro. In essence, his defense was, yeah, I beat her, but I didn't traffic her. We all know he beat her. But that happened way too far ago to even brung up in the trial. Like, the statute of limitations are long gone. Let's just hope and pray that if this man was like this, and I say that with a big if, because he was judged. He was. If that man is like this, let's hope that this was his wake-up call. Maybe he can change into a better person. Maybe he can become something different than what he was doing, man. That's all we can hope. I mean, we don't know how people live, how people have to deal with their emotions, how what they have to live with. If he did all this and he got off of it, he still got to live with it.
It defies odds that this
and I'll tell
jury
you what,
found that man innocent.
You know you've done wrong. It's harder to do than
the kidnapping, the arson, the robbery, everything that actually happened.
Oh, his image.
They said it didn't matter. They said those women's pain didn't matter. They said their bodies didn't matter. They said it didn't matter. And there are a bunch of idiots that literally are celebrating depravity. They're
celebrating that he didn't get off. See this? This is the level of egotistical maniac people get. They're celebrating that he won, but you're salivating that he didn't. You're salivating that he didn't get put away for the rest of his life. What kind of demonic shit are you on, Tissa? I believe if a man has his day in court and he's found not guilty, let him go. Quit talking bad about him. But you're up here salivating that he didn't get fucking bombed on. If a woman has her day in court and she wins, by God, she's got that right to win. Everybody has a right to defend themselves. And if he had money to do it, then it looks like the fucking federal government didn't do their jobs enough to get him to get him convicted. Maybe you should have been the prosecution attorney, Tissa. I don't know.
They're celebrating they could get away. And I get it. I see why Diddy and his family are celebrating.
Here's what I'm going to say. I bet he gets... In the feds, you do 85% of the time you do. So he'll probably get whatever it takes to 85% up to the time he's already been down. He's been down, what, 2 years of that already? He'll probably get time served. And then he'll go on a fucking probationary period for so long. You got to remember, man, he's never been in trouble. The feds have like a point system guideline that they go down for sentencing. And this judge is going to follow it by the book. He's really a by the book judge. He's going to follow everything. He's going to go home. He ain't gonna,
they want to get their money back. They want to get their lives back. But these
bottom now, though,
that are celebrating. What's going on with that? What is going on with that? Again, I'm not going to even, I am so disappointed, not just in the jury, but in the people and in the public and in what that means. I am disappointed and I am disgusted. A red flag should have been those crap men laughing at his stupid misogynistic rape jokes, laughing at painting Cassie as a ho, laughing at all that.
What else was you supposed to paint her as, though? That's the defense. You're mad because he didn't get thrown under the jail, bro. That is insane to me. And you have nothing to do with this. Cassie definitely wanted more freak offs. He told her that we're going to quit, babe. We're done. I respect your opinion. Blah, blah, blah. No, honey. No, daddy. We're going to do more freak offs. That's where she lost me. I said, oh, this ain't fucking nothing crazy. He's not out here raping like these bitches, like holding them down and taking the pussy. These people they want to do this. That's why he was hiring sex workers. That's why he was hiring people that were in that industry, because they were down.
It should have been something.
It was an orgy, bro.
And it lets us know it's
all the time.
Forget the Me Too movement. They always have to bring that up. It lets you know they don't think you matter. They don't think your pain matters. They would die if it was their mom, their sister, their sister, their mom, their whatever. They would die. But when it's somebody else's, it's fine. When it's somebody else's, it's fine.
Again, to a point where the dudes that they were bringing in to sleep with Cassie were falling in love with Cassie. So that means that it wasn't once, it wasn't twice, it wasn't 3 times. These men falling in love, they're fucking more than 3 times. It's a little off the wall. When I don't think they should have had Cassie take the stand. They should have just went off of her test, like whatever she had done, and they should have just put that in court. I wouldn't have put her on the stand.
Let's get into this, right?
I wouldn't.
Mark Magnafilio did a smart legal move.
Diddy's a sex
addict. I'm telling you, guys, I am so disappointed.
Diddy's a little weird.
Power through and tell you where I think things went wrong. He is still looking at a maximum of 20 years, but there's a chance that he could walk away with probation. Mark Magnafilio stood up at the last time, okay? He stood up and he actually said, right? Listen. Wait, what? Hold on. 1 second. He stood up Okay, he stood up and he actually said that he wants Diddy to go free now. I understand, right? I understand. I've been hearing lots of comments that Diddy's family's looking for me. They were King Combs was in the hallway saying, "Where's Tissa? Where's Tissa? Where's Tissa?" Tissa's right here. Tissa's still standing down on truth, right? It was either one of the sons or somebody with them, right? It doesn't matter. The whole point is, even with the Combs family, this
Yeah,
is
she got too involved with this, man. Yep, drug addict, sex addict. His nobody's gonna want to work with him. I mean, let's be honest here. He still got made to look really, really bad. But she built her content around her, like this is her bread and butter. I get it. I get it. I get it. But she built it around her hoping that he goes to prison. And that's what her audience wants as well. Like, that's what she's been telling these people. He's going to prison. He's going to prison. He's going to prison. And then when he don't go to prison, she's got to find something else to blame it on, right? Couldn't be that she was just wrong.
About the hostility. I was
wrong, guys.
I stand by. I believe what the government said, and I stand by the victim.
I don't know how many people are going to
now, and this is what that dream team actually did. They let this man back on the street, right? Because now let's talk about everybody that didn't lick his feet. Let's talk about everybody that wasn't part of his thing. Let's talk about everybody that believed the victims, because now it's time for the Combs Enterprise to do what the Combs Enterprise does, and that is to do what? To apply that pressure, to apply that money, and to apply those bottom feeders that really
you quieted down. What was that about?
Except their proximity to wealth. It is.
What was that? Tissa.
What? To apply that pressure, to apply that money, and to apply those bottom feeders that really apply the bottom feeders that.
Who was right there that she wanted to quiet down in front of? Yeah. You would want to give him a hit? I don't know, bro.
Really don't care.
I wouldn't want my name on that motherfucker.
Proximity to wealth. It is what it is. Let's get back
He'll give him a hit.
This, okay? Again, I think the co-conspirator, but again, I am Monday quarterback.
Damn it.
The prosecution put on a great prosecution. This really goes into what they think abuse is.
Her bias is getting the best of her.
What abuse?
I think her audience will still like her. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. I think Tissa could have came up here and just been like, I was wrong. I was wrong, man. It didn't go our way, guys. How about that? I can respect that. It didn't go our way. But to constantly come up here and like blame this and blame that, or it was this fault, or it was that fault, it was this fault, or that fault. Just be like, hey, man, we were wrong. Or, hey, it didn't work out our way. It didn't work out our way.
How much they're willing to stand against.
She crashed out.
What they're willing to accept. This was a message to all.
I seen DJ Akademiks say that he wanted to do a sit down with her. And he wanted to go over the facts. See, the facts are the facts. You can spin whatever narratives you want, but facts are facts.
Victims. And the message is stay quiet. The message is people don't care. And the message is Diddy doesn't even have to lift a finger to silence people. He doesn't even have to lift a finger to silence people. They will actually do it. Again, the dream team got a cult leader, so they can now start applying pressure and now start doing. Mark Agnafilio stood up and said they would be an action. There is Xavier and Westmoreland leaving the court. They are part of the dream team that got Diddy free. Again, they did their job, and they did their job well.
Very well.
Their job, in my opinion, was getting a monster off. Again, this isn't a loss for me. I was advocating for victims.
I'm still going to watch Tissa. Don't get me wrong.
This is a loss
But she
for
needs to
all of us.
understand that
This is a
maybe
loss
some of this
for
was wrong.
society. And the fact that when all that went down, that is all they could
Maybe
say,
some of
that
it
is
was
all they
wrong.
could do.
Maybe
Again, I
it
still
didn't work
stand 10
out your
toes down.
way.
And all these people saying, ha, 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 I get it. We live in a world, in a country, in a time when nobody cares about anybody, right? Nobody
I
cares.
said that too. I've said that a long time ago too as well, chat. You've heard me say this. People just stop being friends, will cut you off, will literally like just make up the weirdest thing to not be your friend anymore or start talking about you. It's just so fucking weird these days. I see it. I see it too. I totally see it that people are losing care for one another. And it's because of the internet. It's because of the internet. It's too easy to do on here.
About anybody.
It's too easy to
Let's
cut
get
someone off. It's too easy to start a beef.
listen.
It's too easy
Let's
to
get
fucking
this. Let's
just
get into
be
this.
mean.
Cassie's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, has made a statement. Okay, he said this entire criminal process started when our client,
he got charged
Cassie
too.
Ventura, had the courage to file her civil complaint in
think so
November
too, Rock.
2023.
You gotta have
They
some
said
kind of
although
like
the jury did not find Diddy
open
guilty
mind.
of sex trafficking, Cassie, beyond a reasonable doubt, she paved the way for a jury to find him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. By coming,
Yeah, because that's because he was buying prostitutes to engage in the fuck offs that she was in. That's why. That's why he was found guilty on that. He was buying prostitutes, flying them out to fuck Cassie. Let's be real. That's the facts that came out in court. Paving a way? I don't know, man. I don't know about paving a way, but
forward
I
with
guess
her
she did bust
experience,
down the door.
Cassie has left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and the fight for justice. This is a direct statement from Cassie's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor. Okay, we must repeat with no reservation that we believe and support our client, who showed exemplary courage throughout this trial. She displayed unquestionable strength and brought attention to the realities of powerful men in our orbit and the misconduct that has persisted for decades.
Nah, Brandy should be back. Brandy should come back. How much time you think they will give him for buying prostitutes? Probably the time that he's been down now. He'll get credit for time served. They'll give him a year and a day, probably. Then he'll get credit for time served. And then he'll get 10 years probation, probably. 15 years, maybe, if they want to be a little bit harsher. Yeah, I would say I don't really know a whole lot about federal guideline sentencing. I know they don't. I know it doesn't. It isn't just up to the judge to say here's the open sentencing. I'll give you whatever. I know there's guidelines to it, like point systems and all this shit.
Out repercussion. This case proved that change is long overdue, and we will continue to fight on behalf of survivors. Well said, Mr. Wigdor. Well said. Okay.
Andy.
Now let's look at whatever else also could have went
wrong.
Let me
go get a
okay.
Joint.
Listen. Again, last major point, which points to the obvious fact that this whole thing was unnecessarily rushed. All right. And grand jury, listen, grand juries and home raise are what happens when you end the investigation. Those feds were bringing stuff to the grand jury just a few months after opening an investigation. The fact.
Damn, who's that? Is that Ratchet TV again?
At the end, that they're rushed and lazy investigations. The feds knew nothing.
She lied to y'all. Oh man. She lied to y'all.
Seriously rushed.
Oh, she's getting flustered too.
Well said, Mr. Wigdor. Well said. Okay. Now let's look in whatever else also could have went wrong. Okay. Listen, again, last major point, which points to the obvious fact that this whole thing was unnecessarily rushed.
Free
All
puff.
right. And grand jury, listen, is grand juries and home raise are what happens when you end the investigation. Those feds were bringing stuff to the grand jury just a few months after opening an
Somebody's going
investigation.
crazy out
The
there.
fact at the end that they're
She definitely does have a right to her opinion. I'm not knocking her for her opinion. I'm not.
and lazy investigations, the feds knew
But there's a
nothing
difference between
more
opinion and
about
fact
Diddy
now,
and his business operations
right?
than what was Cassie's complaint.
I mean, we've
right?
heard all the
I
opinions.
mean, the Rolling Stones found out more about the illegal stuff that Diddy was doing than the feds did. All right. Everyone knew Diddy was doing mob type stuff to keep people in shady deals and cutting former business partners out. 2 years of wiretaps and pressure to talk and be charged as a co-conspirator would have done a lot. But again, Mark Agnifilio took that away. Okay. Listen,
Unnecessarily.
again, it is what it is. Again, this is a watershed
Unnecessarily.
moment. Okay. It is a watershed
Ratchet off the
moment.
meters. That's
Again,
fire.
it is a
I'm glad-
watershed
look,
moment.
here's the thing, man. In every system, you always need that one person that bucks that system. You may not even like that person, but you need him around. Like, you need him around. There's always that guy at work. Can't stand the motherfucker, but you love him because he fights back with the bosses, or he puts the bosses in place when they need to be. And you don't have to. You could just sit back and let him do it. What's up, Craigo? Like, you could just sit back and let these crazy motherfuckers do it. You have to have these types of people in any situation. The people that don't mind bucking back are free puff, because see how unsettling it makes other people. But that's fine. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But when it comes to court, there are no opinions.
Again, what are you doing? It is a watershed moment.
I wouldn't.
You guys,
I wouldn't.
listen, all I can say is this.
You got one half of people that are going crazy because he lost, and one half of people that are going crazy because he won. I don't get either way. Because at the end of the night, I'm going to bed and not even thinking about Puffy.
Okay? All I can say is this. Again, people want to talk about controlling
I'm
the
going to
media,
bed.
okay? When I say watershed moment, I don't mean that good. I mean that it's a watershed moment and a wake-up call for the type of country we live in, for the type of thoughts that are in people's minds from 40 to 71 years old, and the fact that they will actually do that. I will say this, okay? I will say this. This is not over, and we need to move forward. I get all the flunkies of Diddy are happy their idol, who wouldn't even spit on them, is out, because this is the type of lifestyle they.
How about the fact that I just want a man to be found not guilty of crimes if he's not guilty? How about having nothing to do with his celebrity at all? I don't give a fuck about Puffy, his money, who he is, who he slept with. I just give a fuck about a man that's either guilty or not guilty. And the fact of the matter is, he was found not guilty pretty quickly too, in under 15 hours. So, I mean, I don't
idolize a world where women can be drugged, they can be transported, they can be beaten, and nothing, as long as you have enough money and power, the respect that brings will guarantee that you will never get anything again. Again, this is a circus, and this is America. This is the world we live in.
Right.
A woman's body means nothing. Bruises mean nothing.
Right.
SA mean nothing. Okay? And now we have a thing of black men coming, trying to do. You guys, listen.
What was that? Why does she do that? King Craigo said that lady don't like black men. That's kind of fucking weird, isn't it? I wouldn't say, I don't know if Tissa likes black men or not. I don't know. I'm not going to say that about her. But like, for real, Here's the thing: when you're covering cases like this, she can't get triggered. You can't get your emotions involved, and it looks like she has her emotions involved, bro. And rightfully so, because this is her bread and butter. Rightfully so, because she's a woman. She feels like that justice wasn't served. And I kind of get it, bro, because I feel for women if something's happened to them and justice didn't get served and you wanted justice. You seeked to have justice served. But no one sought to have justice served against this guy. They all went after his money. They never once fucking called the police. They never once told anyone else, hey, I want to press charges on this man for R-wording me. No, not once. Not once did no one ever come up and say, I want to press charges on Diddy. But yet they had a hotline for you to call for you to fucking file a civil suit on him. They had a whole fucking phone hotline. Tony Busby, yeah, the guy that wanted to sue Jay-Z too, had a whole fucking hotline for you to call and press civil suit on Diddy and so try to bleed him for all of his bread. That's right. Right now is when all of the bleeding of the bread should stop. I was found not guilty in a court of law. Fuck your civil cases. Throw them in the trash.
Actually say something, right? At the end of the day, these
got
are
her
federal
bread.
charges. And the fact that people think that
Cassie
federal
cares if
charges
she's in jail or
do
not now?
have anything
She's
and they
cool.
don't stick about oh, these broke niggas is mad. So anyway, listen. At the
Why'd you so shocked?
At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day,
yes, we love you, Freddie.
Please move him away, please. So at the
she
end
got
of the
security
day,
out
right?
there, huh?
At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, right? We will listen. At the end of the day, we have done what we can. This shows that these people care more about, right? We have shown.
You got to quit doing the repeating, Tissa. You're flustered, baby girl. And I think it's cute. I think it looks good on you. Truly, I do. I think it's cute to see her flustered, don't you? I don't think it looks bad on her. It shows a different side of her, bro. I think it looks cute on her. Look,
y'all, I work for.
At the end of the day, the lady's beautiful. That's not bullshit. She got security up in that motherfucker. I would too. Any people trying to clout chase off of her and shit, bro. Let's not get it understood. That's clout chasing. They want what she's got. He was getting under her skin.
The feds. So listen, what's been actually happening is I'm glad I'm turning into the story, honey. I'm glad I'm going. Okay, so listen, at the end of the day, there are, listen.
I'm turning into the story. Two dudes holding her down. Good for them, man. She probably pays them well. Good for them, though.
These people are sitting here in their struggle, mad that Diddy doesn't even know they exist. They want it. I get it. They're mad that they don't have. Right? Listen, they are mad. They're mad. They're mad. They are mad. Listen, at the end of the day, the prosecution is showing what it is. And now they are saying that I should be the story because I actually went to the prosecution. Because at the end of the day, they are mad that I went with what the prosecution could say, that I did with what the prosecution would say.
Well, I guess she's allowed, though. She's allowed. She was threatened after the Nancy Grace show.
And they're mad. There's all these bottom feeders that literally are trying to get money off they can, but they cannot, right? Listen, at the end of the
she's flustered, bro. I don't know how to feel about that, really.
These people need to be worrying about whether Diddy's going to get time and not yelling at me. I get it that I'm the story. I know they need me for the views. I know they need me for the content. I know they need me for those pennies and those money. And I know that they are the type of men that feel very comfortable trying to harass and bully and intimidate women.
Oh, man, you lost me there, bro. Lost me, y'all. You lost me. Lost me. Totally. Lost me. Had to go to the bully thing. Here we go. Cry bullies again. See what that is actually a bully technique. To use I'm being bullied is a bully technique that's used. It's actually called reverse bullying. I don't know what it is. It's something with these new age kids or something with this manipulation in their brains and shit. But that's actually reverse bullying. Oh, they're bullying me now. What? That man ain't even close to you, bro. You hear him yelling. He has to be yelling right now to be heard. So what? He's 50 feet from you and now he's bullying you? Sugar. Telling you, bro. Ah, man. The women got to stop this shit, bro. That man ain't bullying you, man. Men, women, people of all shapes, sizes, colors, stop this bully. They're bullying me. Or they're bullying me. Or this is bullying. Well, then maybe it will mold you into something different then, because bullying helps people structure who they are. Are you going to continue to be bullied? Or like it molds you. He's not harassing her. He's just out there protesting. That's a simple public protest, nonviolent protest. Why do people take it to things that it ain't? She wants him to go down so bad. Yeah, native. What? Yeah, this is a nonviolent protest, and she's upset. I get it. She might be scared. Maybe she's never been in this situation before, y'all. Tissa looks like she's got bread, bro. That was old boy from Ratchet TV. He not brokey. He got a lot of followers. Yeah, I've seen Ratchet. And I don't think he was out there to hurt her either. I'm on all the drugs, man.
At the end of the day, this is the type of people they are. They want to bully women.
Whatever one you say I'm on.
And there's a bunch of dusty, ugly, male-identified women also riding on them. At the end of the day, this is the world we live in. And I'm glad. Thank you for my baby for paying for security. Thank you for my baby for keeping me protected. Baby, I love you, and I will sue you soon, okay? But at the end of the day, these are Diddy supporters. Grown men rolling up on women, trying to intimidate them, trying to make me feel scared, trying to make me feel, because they're mad that the federal government looked at behavior and said it's no. They are hoping that maybe they can get like a few things. There's a bunch of dusty, ugly, men-identified women mad.
Apparently you don't understand English, because you're the only one that can't understand anything. I don't get it. Go sit down somewhere. Maybe you need a timeout in the corner.
For them that are riding along with them. I get it. This is the world that we live in. They're mad. A federal government bought up things, and this he is crashing out. He's crashing out, and I love to see it. He is whoever it is, he is crashing out. Meanwhile, the man that he rolled out for don't know him, won't shake his hand, but he wants at the end of the day. And any gay, listen, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, it is what it talks about.
He
And
got
I
her
get
nervous.
it. And it's
I mean,
sad
I don't
these
know what.
band of married
Like,
men
we
are
all know
doing this.
Tissa's got some bread, bro. She's got some big bread. She's made a way for herself on YouTube. I'm all for it, right? I'm all for it. I'm not hating on her. Maybe she's never been in this situation before. It doesn't look like she's like ever dealt with public scrutiny. You know what I mean? Something that she couldn't control. But she's smart for getting fucking. She said, "Pass the needle." Fuck you. We're throwing the needle around in this motherfucker.
Guys, let's get back into
We're all
this, okay?
junkies in this bitch.
So anyway,
Fuck
Mark
it.
Filio. Listen, I will say this
Fucking
one
goofies.
time. The jury got it wrong. And the jury enabled this behavior. This is what the jury enabled. These are the people that support Diddy. This is the type of thing that they want actually done.
Why are you
Grown
putting
men
them in a
and
group,
women,
though?
men crashing out.
This is you're grouping people. You're putting him in a group of people that you don't even know if he belongs to or not. Yeah, the jury is bound to laws. Jury is bound to have to make the right decisions. They're bound by that. They have a list. The jury has a clipboard, and they have to go down that list. Why no one talking about the kids? Yeah. There were some kids involved in this, I've heard, but I guess that got swept. She should have remained unbiased. She can still come back from this. She's got a big enough and a good enough following that love Tissa for who Tissa is. Tissa doesn't have to like go out like this. I don't think that she loses anybody by just saying, "Hey, it just didn't go our way, guys." But to be out like putting people in groups and saying these people are all fucking weird, I don't agree with that. I don't. I really don't.
Over someone that doesn't even know they exist. Grown men fighting.
You're the one. Like, think about this. She's talking shit about someone being emotional because he won. But in the same turn, you're not thinking that you're being emotional because he lost. She should just say, "Hey, I disagree with the verdict." Yeah, like we lost. We lost. It didn't go the way we thought it would. But now you're out here busting out YouTubers, talking shit about other YouTubers. I just like, if you're talking about somebody that's emotional because he won, but you're emotional because he lost, it just ain't right, bro. Like, yeah, there was children involved, maybe. Why did that get swept under the rug?
You should be able to abuse, bully, yell. This is the world they want to live in.
Maybe they didn't have enough
This
to
is
get
the
him
world
on.
they want to live in. And now they're crashing out, screaming,
get it,
voices
bro.
cracking because they're mad that security is making it impossible for them to even touch me or get over to it. Anyway, you guys, let's get back into this. Let's get back into it. And they're mad. But this is what they want. Okay,
I
so
still like her.
I'm
I'm not one of them people that get emotional and then start changing sides. Like, I still am a Tissa fan. I still like Tissa. I just think this is funny. This is a different side of her during this trial when she actually went to New York that I never seen. Her behind the camera in her little studio or what she does is something totally different than what I've seen while she's been at this trial. It got real different, y'all. It truly did.
stood up and said that he
And it's
thinks
not
that Diddy
nothing
should
bad.
be able to be released and go
People
home
are allowed to be
now,
who they are,
okay?
y'all.
The
They
government said that they are going to strongly oppose that. The government said that they are going to strongly oppose that, right? Now, here's the thing. And you guys, thank you so much for being here with me. I am here in the trenches with y'all. I am here actually out here. There's a lot of hate out here. A lot of people act like I bought the charges. I will never apologize for supporting victims. And again, everybody laughing and kikiing, let them have their point. But again, the day has to change sometime. Diddy left, so now they come to the only story, which is actually me, right? Which is actually me, okay? So anyway, listen, they're saying that Diddy should be out on bail because it got downgraded to prostitution. They said he should be released now. He should be returned to home. He's only been convicted of the Mann Act, which, by the way, can go up to 20 years for the Mann Act, right? Mark has made a bid saying he got released he got not guilty for less serious things, but it is, right? He said that his plane has been chartered. The plane is in Maui, so he's not a flight risk. He says he has no access to the plane, and his family has, in fact, been, his family is going to hold him to make sure he doesn't try to run, right? He said that he shouldn't be permitted. He said he should be permitted to go home and live his life at home, like he's been working, right? He said this is just a prostitution offense. They said that he should be able to leave the courtroom and walk.
Nancy Grace is unhinged, bro. She has no like sense of understanding anything at all outside of what she says. Nancy Grace is fucking crazy, bro. Imagine being in your family, dude. Imagine that woman and you're a man in your family, bro.
Walk outside, okay? They're doing the guidelines. But here's the thing. The prosecution jumped
You didn't see what? Probably because you wasn't born then.
And said that they are going to ask for the guidelines and they're going to ask for the maximum sentence of 20 million. Right? Mark Agnifilo thinks that he should be released right now on $1 million bond, give up his passport to his family, and be able to go between Florida and New York City. And again, I literally sat there and said, this man who, even when, as Maureen Comey said, when prosecution was watching, this man was able to, even when prosecution was watching, was able to do what? He was able to go back and forth. Even while the prosecution was watching, he still was able, even when prosecution was watching,
just like your mama,
break the law, commit this. He was still hiring escorts. He was still ready to go. And they are trying to get him off. Again, congratulations to the Dream Team for doing what they do. But again, do you see all these idiots walking around wanting to fight me, mad at security, and they can't be a man and use their fists and hands like Diddy? This is what the jury enabled. And this is the world the jury wants to live in. They sent a clear signal that if you beat someone, hit someone, expose someone to indignity, that's what their money and power can actually buy. Okay? And there's a lot of people. Again, at the end of the day, they focus.
Listen here, you have to. Here's the problem, Tissa. You're fear mongering. That's what you're doing. You are fear mongering. That's what you're doing. Because you're saying that, well, since the jury let him off, they allowed him to abuse women. They didn't have him up there to be tried on abuse. They didn't have him up there to be convicted of beating on Cassie. That's long gone. Just because they had a tape of him doing it, they can't try him for that. But bound by law, the jury has to find him guilty of the crimes he committed that they are bound by law, find guilty or not guilty on, that he is being charged for. They can't fucking take one thing from this thing and say, well, he did that, so he did that. That's fear mongering. To say that the jury doesn't care about people or women if they get beat on because he has money and power, that's fear mongering. Because he wasn't on trial for beating Cassie. You've seen the list of charges, right? Did it have anything to do with beating Cassie? No. So why would you even bring that up, bro? Why would you say that the jury don't care? They can't find him guilty of beating Cassie if he wasn't charged for it. They can only bring it up if there's something to do with sex. That's what he was charged with. The Mann Act is white slavery.
Focus on what they can. A bunch of dusty men-identified women that patriarchy never worked for, but they're still going to support it because that's the only leg in the game they can. And a bunch of men that's mad that they're broke, mad that they don't get the views. Even people that today, oh, you need to apologize. Are you going to send super chats back? Baby, is it that? Does it make you that mad?
No.
Does it make you that mad that there were so many people that supported victims of sexual abuse?
No, I don't think people are saying, are you going to send the super chats back? That's a little irrational. That's a little irrational, y'all. For anybody that's telling Tissa to give the super chats back because they found him not guilty, that's a little bit irrational, bro.
Does it make you that mad that there were so many people that actually did the right thing? At the end of the day, it is not a game.
And
at the end of the game, it is not a game. And now Diddy's people have caused such a commotion that even when they won, even though he might be facing 20 years, they are still calling the boys in blue.
He said the Mann Act was on some black singer in the 60s, was with a white teenager. Oh, that's where it was originated from? Damn, go read a book. That's where the fucking crime was started? Oh, go read a book. God damn, bro. I think so too, Sugar. And you also got to remember how many people she has following her too. She does have some clout that they can probably try to leech from and take to think that they could change those people's minds on Tissa or whatever. You know how YouTube works, man. You know how it works. They probably think, okay, I can make some of her audience come over here because I told them that she's a liar. She did get emotionally involved in this. And maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe because she's went through something herself. We don't know. We don't know, bro. Maybe Tissa's had to deal with something in her life that we don't know about. So maybe that's why she got emotionally involved. I really don't know. But like, he said way too soon.
Even when he won. Again, everybody's looking and they want to see what my opinion is and what I'm going to do. And I still stand 10 toes down. Thank you, Sam.
Hey, at least I can respect that. They got R. Kelly. Damn. I mean, she's standing on it. I'll give her that. I can respect that.
It's okay. Listen. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Listen, hey, what's up, girl? Lovely Ty. Can I get? Hold on. Can I get?
You're gonna push me away, right?
Listen. These men Listen, these men are out here. They want to lay hands and feet on me. Thank God I got security.
Yes, she do. She got top flash. She got 1 and 2. She's in a gated cell, honey.
And there's a few in the cut that y'all don't see. So listen, Thank you, baby, for getting me security. I love you. I was safe. So tell me, what did you feel? This is for everybody who doesn't know. This is the queen of YouTube herself, Lovely T. Please make sure y'all support and join her Discord. It is top notch. And
she's in the Discord. I didn't even know that.
Yes, but you know what? On my burner account. So listen, tell me, what when you heard the trial, the verdict come out, what did you think and feel?
Okay, I felt like I said before,
the
RICO was overreach. I don't believe that there was a RICO. I don't think there was enough.
Thank God, not LH security. You didn't get LH security on the job? Well, you could have got LH security on the job and it would have been a banger, y'all. It would have been a banger with LH security on the scene. Shit. You mean to tell me you didn't get LH security? You got to go see them in person to book them, though. Okay? You got to go see them in person. Yeah.
BMF. I don't think he
I
did
don't
this,
know.
and his employees
I don't know
did
where
this
you find
under the
LA
guise of,
security.
you know, they're moving drugs, they're moving weight. So I didn't feel like that, but I'm glad he got charged with something.
Yeah.
And they had the receipts for what they charged him with. And like I said,
They
this is
did
going to set
charge him with
precedent.
something. He is a felon
Okay,
now.
this is going to shake up the industry. This is going to wake people up to let people know you cannot go around abusing people. You cannot go around taking people's talents, taking their God-given gifts, chewing them up and spitting them out. So this is going to be a wake-up call because this is bigger than Diddy. We are talking about a demonic industry, everything from Hollywood actors.
Oh, I believe
Girl,
there's,
to the
I
modeling
believe there's
industry.
bad players
Amber
in our
Crombie and
fucking
Fitch
entertainment
folks.
system.
Yes.
For sure.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yes.
For
And now
sure,
hip hop
bro.
is getting a taste, okay?
I just don't
And
know
you
if
gotta
this
ask
was that.
yourself.
Mate, I think this was a
Yo,
little
see,
bit
here's the
different.
OG.
Okay,
Keep
we
going.
More of
gotta
an
we
orgy
gotta talk
scene
about character. This is
than
a
what
man
they
that
tried
was
to make it out.
popular.
Because they
A
didn't
lot
bring
of
the
people
facts
thought
of
when you put
anything
a lot of
else,
people on,
really.
But where are these people today? See, when you get in trouble, you find out who's really.
I
there
just
for
heard a
you.
lot of
Why
things
was
about Diddy,
nobody there to support him
and they didn't
outside of
actually
attention
prove
seeking
it.
Kanye, who came to promote his song a week later, and who was also, I low-key feel like he's trying to intimidate Jane Doe. But that's just my opinion. Outside of Kanye, who else came up here to support Diddy? Ask yourself that, okay?
Yeah, who
When
would
I can watch
understand
an
either.
interview of these grown men, day 26, breaking down,
Hollywood is
crying,
real weird.
years later, all of them, it wasn't just two
Rico.
crying. All these men were crying. That tells you that something sinister was going on at Bad Boy.
I believe it.
Okay, so we're not just
I
gonna
still
knock that and
think
throw that
bad
out the
things were
window. Like I
happening.
get
Don't get me
everybody's
wrong.
point where they're like, oh, they're trying to take down a black man and this and that. I get that, but at what point are we gonna hold our own accountable? We have to be able to hold our own accountable. You just can't treat people any type of way and then think you can get away with it. And the thing is, he knew what he was doing was wrong because guess what? When he was on the Breakfast Club, he said that he would not allow his twins to date older men. He would not allow. So if you're willing to protect your own daughters, why are you not treating other men's daughters as if they're your own? Why are you out here, pimping out?
Yeah, but have you ever thought about learning from your own mistakes and teaching from your own mistakes? See where you're holding him to a standard, but yet the standard is we're supposed to teach our kids from our mistakes so they shall not make those same mistakes. But you're not allowing that standard to stand because you're now holding him to a standard that he should have been holding himself to a standard long ago, right? I don't get the word semantics here, bro. Because you're not looking at the big picture. You're only focused on what you want. You're right. How you feel about him personally wasn't what he was on trial for. And that's just what it is. And we all watched it go down, bro. I did. I watched a lot of it. I read a lot of it. All the like as they was coming out on Twitter, I was reading it. And the government didn't bring all of this shit about Diddy was he was bus loading kids into his home at night. Fucking he had underground layers in his house, fucking underground sex dungeons and shit. But the fucking government didn't bring any proof of any of this enough to convict him on it. Not even to a person like me, bro. I was telling myself, bro, I don't think Diddy's going to go down for this. They haven't brung enough. I think they jumped the gun on Diddy, bro.
Whatever you're doing to Cassie. And like I said, I give Cassie grace because she was young. He got her when she was young. Jane Doe don't get that much grace. Jane Doe, I'm sorry. I don't agree with Jane Doe. Jane Doe knew what she was doing. She'd been selling the cat. Let's start there. You know what I mean? But Jane Doe, and I think that's why they ended up not finding her guilty on that one.
Because you think Jane Doe
yes,
messed
her
it up?
testimony.
You think so?
Because then after a while, it was helping,
because everybody knew her lore on the jury, if they even followed a little bit along or did a quick research.
Right.
That's an interesting theory.
I think that's why they
an
lost
interesting
their
theory.
account books because of Jane Doe.
But
And
what
then
about
after
the
a while,
Cassie one
You're
being
damn
lost?
right. I
The
tell
trafficking
everybody,
on
if you think that you're innocent and you think that you can win in the court of law, fast and speedy that bitch. Fast and speedy. Don't play with these fools. Get them in court. Every time. If you think that if you actually in your mind know that you are innocent and that you can win in court, or you think that you can beat the case 100% and you've got that gut feeling, you file fast and speedy trial every time. Get their asses in court. Don't give them the time to build. fucking yeah.
That was
Damn right.
interesting. You know, I
It was
mean, we
very
can't win them
smart to
all.
do that.
You can't win them all.
True.
So you have to look at it like that.
Very
True.
smart.
I still think that this is still going to set a precedent. You know,
I hope
granted it
it
wasn't
does.
the RICO, but I think it does. It's going to have to force people to move smarter in this industry. And another thing, let me talk about this real quick.
Moving smarter just
Um,
means hiding
I
it
also
more.
want a lot of young girls on social media to understand everything that glitters is not gold. A lot of y'all look at stuff and y'all see
Very
these
true.
Instagram, you know, personas and their lifestyle and these trips and these bags and these shoes. Okay, understand that they're only showing you a highlight reel.
Yeah.
So I really hope that people take from this case, not just the salaciousness, not
A lot of
just
these
the
people don't
sexual
even own what
exploits,
they
not
show,
just
bro.
the baby oil, but
They're not as rich as
understand
they show it.
that
They're not
everything that
fucking
glitters is not
worthy.
gold.
Yes.
Everybody thought Daphne, you know what I'm saying, like the whatever.
From Scooby-Doo?
From
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, was
Yeah,
doing her thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
being
yeah.
rich
And
everything
Nola
else.
too.
Yeah.
And Scrappy and yeah.
Exactly. And now
Yeah.
when you look at it, it's like, damn, that's where all that came from.
Exactly.
That's how you got your
Yeah.
riches.
You see Barbie, Scooby-Doo,
Yeah,
Daphne, Velma.
people like Tissa don't belong on the stand. She would have been ruled out quick. Like, no, bro. You're too fucking. You want him gone. She wasn't very biased on this. She was very. I mean, sorry. She was very biased with her forthcomings. So I don't think it was ever. I don't think that it was Tissa being unbiased and then she flipped on her fans. I think Tissa's always been biased and she's still standing on it. So can't hate her for it.
Wendy, all of them
All
doing
that.
the thing, but it is everything that you see
I
is
can't
not
hate her.
gold.
Yes.
Mama, let me just ask you one
Might
more
see
question.
some
because you
lawsuits,
bring
though.
up a very, very important point.
Ah. Do you think she's going to see some lawsuits? Because she's a little uppity, isn't she? Tissa's got herself up there. That's one way Diddy could definitely get back at her now, was to file lawsuits of defamation on her. Pull her head over her lip.
As a band of idiots broke
Swallow
Dusty
herself.
Ashy, and yes, I'm talking to you. Broke Dusty Ashy supporters and Dusty Ashy
You're
male
bougie, huh?
identified men, right?
She's bougie. I feel like it.
Okay. Listen.
Here's where we'll start to understand what Tissa's content will be about now, because this took her to fame. So, like, now that this is over with, where's she going to pivot to? And is it going to be against men that sexually abuse people, or is it going to be against anything like that? Stay tuned to find out.
But listen, I'm gonna hold you. Okay,
thank you.
okay,
sis.
no problem.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so listen. Anybody of note, of merit, of whatever, anybody of note and merit is not out here. But you got dusty people.
That's not true. That's not true, bro. There was very big name YouTubers and lawyers and all that were out there. Very much so.
Y'all, so listen, let's get back into what happened with the prosecution, right? Let's get back into what happened
He
with
crashed out.
Fit chat. Let's get what happened into this, right?
She thick as fuck.
Let's get what listen. Turn it up. I love this song.
He's flustered.
Anyway, listen. So listen, Mark Actifilio wanted a listen, bad. Listen. So anyway, right? Government opposed the application for bail. Listen.
She's fucking flustered, bro. She can't even stay on track, bro. She flustered. She is flustered, man. She's repeating shit. Get on it. You're good, baby.
Ring Comey said the person is found guilty with clear and convincing evidence, right? Again, they said it does not matter whether he is a flight risk. We need to look at the seriousness. There is a reason. There is a reason why he is being held in jail. Okay.
I think she covered a lot of this way better than Frost. Way better. Plus, she's easier to look at, to tell you the truth.
They said that he hired people.
So I'm trolling her next.
First waiver, right? There was physical abuse, right? He
She
said
get
it was
rid of you, though.
prolific
Her mods
distribution
are
of drugs,
fucking.
which, by the way, Diddy literally actually said yes to. They said that they're going to push for 20 years in jail, the maximum. Now, there is a chance that Diddy could get probation, but with 2 acts of the man back, he is looking at 20 years in jail. He continued.
Is that true, though, y'all? I don't know if he is looking at 20. I mean, it sounds like he's looking at 20 because he has 2 different counts. But if those counts are on the same cause number, then they're just running concurrent. They don't go back to back. That's not 20 years. Simple as that. It's up to 10 years. That's what I thought too. He's got 2 of them that are up to 10 years, which means he only faces up to 10 years, not 20, man.
Even when he knew he was under federal investigation, he continued with a litany of drugs. He knew he was under scrutiny, right? This is horrible assault. Drugs, escorts,
He doesn't have a hand.
Supplies,
yeah.
And it was uncontested by Diddy. They said, given all the evidence, they believe he 100% poses a danger. He is a real risk, and they 100%.
He poses a danger. He would have to be convicted of those things that were involved with those things posing a danger, because now he's been found not guilty of those things, Tissa. All the drugs, guess what? Gone. Rico's gone. Prostitution is what he was found guilty of. Prostitution. Insanity, bro. That's crazy. It's fear-mongering. It's literally fear-mongering at this point. Tissa, stop.
% believe he will continue to commit crimes, okay? They said that literally, beside the fact that he was found not guilty of 3 different crimes, right?
Besides the fact,
he actually 100% is a danger to society. And I just want to actually say, okay? I just want to actually say, you look at Diddy's supporters.
Okay,
you look at the sheer level of stupidness and ignorance. And this isn't to all. These are the people out here glazing, obviously don't have real jobs.
Oh, boy. What are you
maybe
doing?
They are content creators. You can say that about me, that were literally trying to glaze and see what they could get. Again, hear me out, right?
Look, people are going crazy with the memes, y'all. They going crazy with the memes, y'all. AI and all kind of shit, bro. This is crazy. Fools gone wild. And Boosie celebrates. Boosie says, sit your ass down somewhere, Diddy. Go sit your ass down somewhere. That's what I say, too. You just got your ass off of all them convictions. Go sit your ass down somewhere.
Anybody that was notable, anybody that was respectable, anybody that was anything, they refused to actually be. I'm out in the courthouse. It is pandemonium. I would have showed y'all what was going on, but I didn't want to give the Glazers any content, any whatever. So I said, I'm going to keep the camera on myself because that's what y'all came to see.
Wow, bro. How did that sound? I don't think, see, this whole Diddy trial gave me a whole different side of Tissa, bro. You went out there in real life and turned into a whole different person. I turned the camera because that's who they came here to see. Well, hello.
But it's pandemonium. out
Hello
there. My
there.
point of the matter is, right? And it's about 85 degrees and humid. And I got this jacket on, baby. I'm out here working for y'all. I want to give a thank you for everybody that gave a super chat and supported. But again, the level of
Yeah,
ignorance
they
that people are really trying to act like the
I got
federal government.
I got an alert on my Citizens app that there was 911 calls because people were having a baby roll party. The world's going crazy, bro. I don't know what to tell you about it. The world's going insane. People are losing their fucking minds everywhere, all over the world. People are mad because he went home. People are mad because he went to. This is like OJ. This is like OJ, bro.
And numerous victims didn't come forward. The fact that people are trying to act like there was no basis for this, the fact that people are trying to act like this was a social media campaign that went too far, the fact that people don't care about the abuse, they don't care about the victims, they don't care because, and this is why the world looks like the way it was, as long as a rich man has money, then you can get anything. And you can even get grown men to come out here and try to fight women.
Nobody's
out here reporting the truth.
Tissa. That's
Again,
bullshit.
I will say
You're
this to
fucking
anybody saying, "How do
fear-mongering.
you feel?" I 100%.
I like you, Tissa. I do, but you're fear mongering. That's fear mongering. If somebody's out there going, "Ha ha, she lies," that's peaceful protesting. That's peaceful. That man was not trying to hurt you by no means, man. By no means.
Believe the victims. I believe that this was a miscarriage
right.
of justice. I do believe, after what we heard lovely T say, and a lot of people, that this actually moved the needle forward. This moved the needle forward for people that are.
Focus on that now, Tissa. Focus on what it can do for the industry so nobody has to worry about getting their assholes raped or having to suck a dick for the gatekeepers. How about that? When are we going to start seeing some like action for the actions? For like, when are we going to be like, okay, when's something going to be done? When is there going to be like a fund? When is there going to be like a gathering of people, maybe a peaceful protest against gay hip hop? How about that? Because all I hear here is fear mongering and money grab. It's a money grab.
Victims of SA for people's art. I feel, and my heart breaks
Boy,
for the
they
people
having
that came and
fun with Diddy,
testified.
bro.
Was Jane the best witness? I don't know. But I'm actually really shocked that they didn't even find out with Cassie. That they told them that it was
baby
okay
oil
for them, right? Listen. Again, I will say this: I am scared for anyone who testified against them, because Diddy is very, very vindictive. And I'm scared for the people that testified against them. Listen, and again, baby, thank you. Listen, again, we saw this with Drew Dixon. We saw this with so many people from the Me Too. We saw this even with the Harvey Weinstein. The way that there are people.
It all lost me when Cassie got up there and they read the text messages, bro, and that she wanted to keep doing these acts that she was so against. It kind of fucked me up, bro. It did. It fucked me up. I was like, oh, well, it looks to me like they don't got Diddy on much of nothing, man.
Power is set up that there are people
That was on
that
Instagram.
will listen, that there are people emboldened, that there are
Knowledge
people
kids,
emboldened,
shade room,
because not even
no
that they have power,
jumper.
because they want to protect
Everybody's
that
got it.
structure, because they think one day they'll have an
No
opportunity
jumper.
to literally destroy people, to hurt people, to not do anything. You guys, don't worry, I'm 100% safe. Shout out to my baby. Thank you. Listen, I'm 100%
people are excited, bro.
safe.
I mean, look, just as much. You got to expect this. You was right there, Shots. Hey, you got to expect this. You're in the shade room. Oh man. Just as much as people wanted him to go down, there was people that also wanted him to be free. And that's with everything, man. I can't believe people are cheering his depravity. Yeah, the depravity and all that. I don't get why they're throwing baby oil when this was seriously like the baby oil was like a weird thing to be doing. You shouldn't be doing that. We all know we're adults. Those are adults out there. And that is a deprived act in that you're cheering it on. Like it's okay to be having fucking free calls with all your buddies and shit when people are drugged and shit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I get that. I get it. I try to be open bias. You know what I mean?
Don't worry about it, okay?
None of these people are
But
my
I do
friends.
want to
Trust
say
me.
that
The baby oil
let's
is
look at who the
crazy.
jurors are, because I do want to talk about that, right? Let's look at who the jurors actually are and who were the jurors and what they actually told us, okay?
Somebody in the
Where
chat
are the
already
jurors?
said
We have
this
information
is
on the Diddy
this is
12 that
this
set
is
this man
all
free.
just
And who would have
this is
thought
all
that
just a distraction, man. Something bigger's coming. This is just a distraction, y'all.
the holdout, right? Who would have thought the holdout was the best thing ever? So what do we have with the jurors, right? What do we have with the jurors, right? Here's what it goes. They said, here's what we know about the jurors. Juror number 2 is a 69-year-old man who works as a massage therapist in Manhattan. He has a Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting from New York University. Juror 5 is a 31-year-old man who works as an investment analysis. His hobbies include golf, tennis, video games, and he described himself as an active churchgoer. Juror number 25 is a 51-year-old man who works as a scientist and lives in Manhattan with his domestic partner. Juror number 28 is a 30-year-old woman who lives in the Bronx with her mother and brother. She works as a deli clerk at a grocery store. Juror number 55 is a 42-year-old woman who lives in Manhattan with her fiance. She works at a nursing home and said she is not a fan of news. Juror number 75 is a 68-year-old man who's retired and previously worked in finance. He lives in Westchester County with his wife and said he listens to old Indian music and likes to play cricket and volleyball. Juror number 116. He was a 68-year-old man who lives in Westchester County with his wife and kids. He's a retired lineman. Juror 160 is a 43-year-old woman
Yeah,
who's a
it's
physician's
not
assistant and works with elderly
the
patients.
jurors got together.
She lives in
Guess
Westchester
what?
with
The
her husband
defense
and
gets to
kids.
pick juror
Juror number
2.
184 is a
Defense
39-year-old
and the
man who lives
prosecution
in the
both
Bronx
pick
with
the
his
jury.
brother. He's a social
This
work
isn't-
program supervisor and a part-time security guard who has a master's degree in social work. Juror 201 is a 67-year-old man who has 2 adult children and works as a logistics and analysis. He lives alone in Westchester County. Juror number 217 is a 74-year-old woman who works as a treatment coordinator and has a bachelor's degree in sociology.
OBT
She
was in
lives
it?
alone in Manhattan and she does not have children. Juror number 230 is a 57-year-old man who works as a manufacturing architect and has a master's degree in mechanical engineering. He lives with his wife. I'm good. I'm cool. He lives with his wife and kids in Westchester County. This juror started as an alternate and replaced the juror who actually left. They replaced the juror who actually left.
This shit on
Guys,
NBC,
listen.
bro.
At the end of the day, Diddy supporters are idiots. The male identifying women are, in fact, idiots. But
whoa, bro. Like, to just be calling people idiots just because they support someone that had a fucking trial? Like, these people won who they supported. Right? These people won the person won who they supported. Tissa, if he would have went to fucking prison for life, you would have been going, and everybody else would have been sad, right? So just let's put our boots back on, shuffle out, and Quit with the fucking all the supporters of that person's a piece of shit. Because that's not the truth. It's not the truth whatsoever, bro. But that's this shit on fucking NBC, bro.
I don't know what she gonna do, y'all.
It's pandemonium. Pandemonium, bro.
I don't know what she gonna do, y'all.
That shit hit national news, bro. I don't know if the baby oil was the right thing to do or not, but yeah, I got you, Freddie. Hold on. I just seen your message. I don't know if that was the right thing to do as adults, but like I think the baby oil thing was a little bit fucking fucked up, to be honest. I don't know why you would like use that to be like, oh yeah, he won. Maybe some balloons. Or maybe like some firecrackers. Bottle rocket or something. Not fucking baby oil, bro. Jesus, y'all made him look like fucking. You made him look even worse. Fucking sex fiend, dude. Like he's a sex fiend. That's crazy. It would probably not be a good look for New York. Nah, people, I get why people look. There's people from New York that support Diddy, bro. I get it. It's like people, you should not support who you want to support. It's your right to like think who you want because, hey, yeah, but you're right there, false idolaters.
Great first day, huh?
Yeah, these people don't give a fuck about you.
But at the end of the day,
Trump stock and Johnson
everybody
and Johnson.
comment.
Oh, he's about to buy up again, boy. Y'all better get stock in Johnson and Johnson, or better yet, go to the other brand because he might not use Johnson and Johnson this time. Go to the other brand. So what? Did he use his fucking baby oil in his orgies? If you're a consenting adult and you want to go in that room, go get it. Hold on, I got you, Freddie. You know? If you're a consenting adult and you walk up to the door and you hear, you decide to walk in that door. I don't
what everybody
tell
expected.
You.
Did you think I was going to
You
come
always
with my
turn
head
back
bowed?
around
Did you
and go
think
right
I was
out.
going to cry? No,
Total
we are
ignorance
in
of
this
baby
for the
oil. I
long
agree.
haul. The victims did not get justice. There's a chance that he could do 20 years in jail.
There's
But the fact he could get 5 or 6,
years.
we actually really don't know.
20,
the whole
10.
point of the matter is I stand with the victims. I don't regret a thing I said. I don't regret a thing I did. I don't need a man's money, fame, popularity, wealth. I don't need the clout. I don't need the clicks. I don't need the views. I came here and I spoke the truth, and that resonated with all of y'all.
Some of them fell in love with his wife.
Listen, I literally again, I get this as a story for everybody. I get that everybody wants to. I get this as a story.
I'll say this: Tissa made it big for people to go out there, though. Once Tissa hit the streets of being at the courtroom, a lot of people started showing up, bro. A lot of people started showing up after that.
For everybody,
bro.
I get that everybody wants to, and I get it because this was a story for me. But I was here, and I stand here once again for the victims of abuse, for the victims of SA, for the people. I don't need a click. I don't need a view. I don't need $1. I don't need clout. I don't need fame. I don't need to be invited to a party. I don't need to be on any show. I don't need to be on any headline. I need to sit here on YouTube and speak my truth. And I don't care how many people fall prey to power. I don't care how many people kiss up and lick the feet of the tyranny of evil men. I don't care. I will always stand here on the side of the righteous, on the side of the victim, on the side of the abused, and on the side of justice. And even when a jury who I think did not get justice, they did not get it right, I still stand here because
so we live in. I don't understand why though, but I don't know how to fix that. It's done that before to us in here when it's fucking this way. Nah, you're not flagged. It's because I'm vertical and it's done that to us before. It's done that to us before. You're not flagged. Nah, you're good. It's done that to it. It's just not clickable for anybody. It shows up as fucking.
lovely T said,
I won't be on here that much longer, so it ain't that deep.
This is the beginning, okay? This is the beginning. Hopefully,
I wanted to shine a little light on Tissa though, because I wanted to show the side of people that get upset and it don't go their way.
They hope, they wish,
like
they pray.
When the world doesn't see things their way. This man, we live in America.
Power, and
we live in America because we like our justice system. We like our court system. We like our whole freedom of speech. We like to be free people. That's why we live in America. So when we go to court and the way things work out is you either win or you lose. And you get judged by peers that both sides get to choose, Tissa. You see, it wasn't just Puff Daddy's side that chose jury. Both sides get to choose jury. I don't get that angle that it was the jury's fault, or it was the age of the jurors, or it was because prosecution gets to have a say in who that jury is too. So like, that just means why don't you blame the prosecution? Why don't you blame the U.S. government then? Because they didn't get the case. They're not the ones that fucking found him guilty.
That's why we have the power structures. That's how slavery, that's how racism, that's how there's so much stuff going on that you even
like a
now see
motherfucker,
people
bro.
licking the boots of power.
That's fear mongering, bro.
Thank God there is YouTube, and we don't need to cower. We don't need to be afraid. We can speak our truth, and no matter
fear mongering. That's fear mongering. I blame the prosecution too. If you're so invested in this and you believe he was guilty, then blame the prosecution. Simple as that. They didn't put on a good enough case. Simple as that. There's no one else to blame but the government, period. They're setting the mics up outside the courthouse now. Oh, shit.
what anybody says, that truth will remain.
Let's go check it out. What channel are you on? All right, he's been released on bail. He's been released on bail. I do believe that's what I heard, bro. That's what I just heard by dropping in on that. The prosecution dropped the ball. They didn't have the right charges, and they didn't make the case of a RICO or trafficking. The press is waiting until 5 o'clock. Okay. Right on.
what's it called? The Parkers. He had different rooms. And remember, if you remember that fucking movie about Notorious, he said, "Oh, you know some Rick James shit." So my friend went over there to confront him about, "Hey, you should put my dad like that, like as if he's like a fucking Monty Kong, like it's a faggot type shit." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he went to the party, and the party was wild as fuck. Yeah. I was supposed to be with him, but I did not go with him. It was so wild that he wanted. Diddy really wanted to suck his fucking dick that night at the fucking party.
Wow. That's somebody in our chat, y'all. That's Freddie in our chat, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
I threw you on the live. Appreciate you, Freddie. So she was telling us a story about she knows some. I'm not gonna spread her business or anything, but like she knows about a story where she was invited to a party because she knows someone that knows Rick James, right? This is all true. And when they showed up or whatever, there was all different rooms of, fucking. And they've always spoke about this. It's always been known about Diddy. It's that those Hollywood rooms, bro. Like you go to mansion parties, you know which rooms to walk into. When you're opened up to a mansion, there's a lot of different rooms in that mansion. You might walk into a mansion where the room where the motherfuckers is fucking. Do you walk in and stay, or do you turn around and walk the fuck back out? As a grown adult, that's your choice. It's absolutely your choice.
Out to a story out of California.
Yeah, they said the man's going to be out on bail today. Well, there you go. Diddy going home, bro. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
If he will allow Combs to walk out of the jail. Now, let me tell you.
So he's going home, y'all.
Right after the verdict, the judge told the lawyers, the defense and the prosecutor, they had to come back at 1:00 today, and they had to have arguments as to why Combs should stay in incarceration until his sentencing later this summer, or whether he could be released. And as you can imagine, the defense team said, hey, he has no criminal record. He has been involved in other things before, never charged, but he should be able to post $1 million and walk out, see his family. They want to go back to Star Island in Miami, Florida, where he lives. And they wanted him to have the ability to go to Los Angeles, New York City, and Miami. But of course, defense lawyers and the lawyer for Cassie are pushing back hard on that, describing him as dangerous and a flight risk. And so they are hoping that he will stay locked up until he is sentenced on these charges of engaging in prostitution. Now, we're coming up on 4:57 in just a minute or so. We're going to toss to the Fox 5, 5 o'clock newscast here in New York City. I'm reporting to you live from our
pretty crazy, man.
And
pretty what was going on in the Playboy Mansion? Oh, I imagine, man.
As I said, we have reporters.
I imagine. I can only imagine what the Playboy Mansion was doing. Them babies probably get down. And if it's consenting adults, you can have your opinion about those kind of people, but it's just their kink. It's just what they do. It's not who they are. Like they could be very productive members of society and they go home and swing with other people. There's so many people that do this. That's why they can't convict him of anything else, because they were just swinging, bro. Freaks and weirdos. I myself would not consider myself hanging out with said things or said people, but hey, that's what Hollyweird's about. They're saying the family brung $1 million with them to the courthouse. Damn. Well, there's 3 people they said that are also, jump on that bond for him. No shit. All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful evening, man. Y'all hear it right there. Puffy may be going home. The judge is they're gonna come out and speak. Puffy gonna hit the streets. Let's see if he hits the ground running, right? Let's see if let's hope he does the right thing. Let's hope that people learn from their mistakes. People have an opportunity. This guy has the opportunity to change some of the world, bro. Think about that. The amount of money that people have where you could be changing lives instead of destroying them. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a beautiful evening. Shout out to new subs. I appreciate y'all hitting that like button. Have a great one.
I gon' come with safety. The only time I'm safe is when I'm dangerous. Posted in the 30 with this 30, trying to leave them brainless. We still in the jets, exactly where them boys say we ain't hanging. Put cheese on my head, I come collect that shit. You think I'm playing? Trouble hop out bustin' at it, brother. Miss you know I'm hitting. We got O's and Bo's in here, and we got wood cook in the kitchen. If I say go get them, they go get them. Young boy fingers itching, fingers squeezing on the trigger. They heard all them glitches. Money man, I run it up. If I fall off, I'm poking shit. Told that bitch quit asking questions. I hate all that notice shit. We send shots the whole year round, no ring around the road and shit. My little bro, he makes it vanish. He with hocus pocus shit. Chopper bust, they hit the ground. It's too many sticks around. We known to get greasy, pussy. Don't you have your bitch around? Switch up on this bitch. I catch him deep, get a whole click around. Put us in the mission, shit that we ain't do. We spinning now. Bitch keep trying to tell me slide. Then she trying to set the pick. But the hoes been tripping, texting my bitch on that messy shit. Left a bro out there with his brains out. Yeah, that's that messy shit. Bought another